Part 31. What should I do if someone takes away my fate? I will just kill her. Author, Mo she mo yet. Chapter 301. This is definitely a hangman banquet. Suzayan tutate his tongue twice. As if he remembered something, he continued, I almost forgot to say that Qingxian and Taoist Tegzu will arrive in the capital soon. Is Taoist alright? I've recovered almost completely, no problem. While they were talking, Suzayan's cell phone rang. After hanging up the phone, his face was full of smiles. The things you want are here. I'll go out first. Suzayan walked through Renran's bedroom and left the house. It seems that the paternity test report is out. Gao Ying guessed what it was at once. Through the help of people outside the layers, she tried her best to ensure that no one interfered. Since her rebirth, she didn't trust anyone except the people around her. Gao Ying was looking forward to it, especially knowing that the person who provided the sample was the Shen family, one of the 8 great families in the imperial capital. If the Shen family was really the young lady's family, then the young lady wouldn't have to work so hard, and she would no longer be alone and weak, at least she would be much better off. As soon as Suzayan came back, he attracted everyone's attention. He handed the things to Renran consciously. Renran opened the file bag, took out the file, and turned to the last page. Gao Ying watched from the side. Although she was curious, she still didn't stretch her head to look. Several people were very curious, but everyone suppressed their curiosity. Renran raised his eyes, met the curious eyes of the people above, and said only 2 words, dear. Suzayan, Uncle Wang, and others were overjoyed, which meant that they could let go of many subsequent actions. Suzayan said happily, then can we do whatever we want? Gao Ying was not as naive and optimistic as them. Big families are not that simple. After all, the children who have just been recognized have weak family affection. This is to confront the Zhang family, which will inevitably involve a lot of interests. In the face of interests, can the family affection of these newly recognized children really compare with interests? The bigger the family, the more they value interests. The relationship network of big families is intricate and the interest network is very complicated. Gao Ying looked at the young lady, who had no trace of happiness or ease on her face, and sighed in her heart. It was obvious that the young lady thought more than she did. Suzayan noticed the expressions of the god of wealth and Gao Ying, and his heart skipped a beat. Is there something fishy going on? Renran smiled and looked at everyone, list all the evidence in your hands, and listen to my instructions tomorrow. For the remaining accounts, keep a few and throw the rest away. In addition, buy a batch of marketing accounts, don't be afraid to spend money. I want to see news about Zhang Ziyu and the connivance of the Zhang family tomorrow that will overshadow the previous popularity. Release it simultaneously through multiple channels, don't just catch the Weibo channel. Gao Ying wrote down what Renran said one by one. Remember, the focus this time is Zhang Ziyu, use her as the attack point, and don't worry about the rest. After giving the order, Renran left the gathering place and returned to his house. Su Changming's phone came in. Uncle Su, Renran greeted enthusiastically. Su Changming smiled and said, Xiao Ran, I have used some connections to help you make an appointment with Bai Xiangxi. It will be on Friday. Are you free? Yes. This Bai Xiangxi is really hard to see. Okay, I will have someone pick you up at your school on Friday. How can I trouble Uncle Su? Just tell me the location and I can go there myself. Wait for me at the west gate of Hengda Century at 10 o'clock on Friday morning. Okay. After ending the call, Renran called his grandfather. Renran. Hearing the familiar voice, Renran's heart softened. The cold and hard shell that had been armed all the time became soft at this moment. Grandpa. Are you tired? No. Grandpa saw everything on the internet. You handled it very well, Ren Hungru encouraged. Ran's eyes curved slightly, the corners of his lips rose, and he was happy in his heart. If you are tired, take a rest. You still have Grandpa. Ran responded obediently, Grandpa, I have something to tell you. What is it? I found my father. The other side was silent, no sound. At this time, the couple in front of the receiver looked at each other in shock. Grandma wanted to take the microphone, but was stopped by Grandpa. Your dad? Grandpa, Dad's identity is a little. She paused. Just as she was about to speak, she heard Grandpa say, no matter what his identity is, I will be mentally prepared. Ran knew that Grandpa was wrong, just like himself at the beginning. He is the Shen family, one of the 8 great families in the imperial capital, Mr. Shen Sanyi. Ran listened to the response from the other side, but didn't hear it for a long time. Grandpa, are you still there? Ren Hungru swallowed his saliva and tried to digest the news. Ran, you just said, tell me, who is your father? Even though he had seen a lot of storms, he was still caught off guard by this news. The Shen family in the imperial capital, Mr. Shen Sanyi, Shen Jingzi. Ren Hungru took several deep breaths. Let me take my time. Ran did not urge him, but waited quietly. After a while, the grandmother's voice came from the other end of the receiver. Ran, did your father recognize you? He came to see us. Ran briefly recounted what happened before. After listening, Ren Hungru could not help but sigh, this is the fate destined by fate. Grandma's voice came from the receiver. Ran, are you ready to go back? Before Ran could speak, Grandpa's voice came again. Ran, I'm here at the Ren family. You don't have to worry so much, just do what you want. Grandpa, I'll always be a member of the Ren family. Ren Hungru didn't persuade him again, no matter what decision you make, Grandpa will support you. Talk to your mom. Don't worry about your mom, we'll take care of it. But you must take good care of yourself outside, tell your family if you have any difficulties, don't just bear it alone, Grandpa said earnestly. Yeah, I know. After talking about family matters with Grandpa for a while, the call ended. Ran called Luo Li, but no one answered the call, so he sent him a text message and told him the situation. As for whether he would return to the Shen family, it was up to him to decide. The next day, Ran arrived at the door of There Is a Tea House at 11:55. The receptionist opened the door attentively and asked enthusiastically, excuse me, are you Miss Ren? Yes. Please follow me. The receptionist took Ran's down jacket and led her inside. The tea room was quiet, with the sound of pianos lingering, and occasionally you could hear the faint sound of conversation behind the screen. Walking all the way to the innermost private room, pushing open the door, the receptionist turned sideways and invited people in. Miss Ren, please wait a moment, Mr. Zhang will be here soon. The receptionist hung up her clothes before leaving. What should I do if someone takes away my fate? I will just kill her. Author, Mo Yet. Chapter 302. At 12 o'clock, the door of the private room was pushed open and Zhang Xingzhou appeared. Sorry to have kept you waiting. I just got here too. The two exchanged a few words. Zhang Xingzhou sat down opposite her and called the waiter directly, one of the usual set meals. Then he handed the menu to Ran, whatever you want to eat, just order. No, thank you. She didn't move. After the tea and snacks were served, Zhang Xingzhou spoke, Student Ren, I came to you this time because of something on the internet. I can mediate the matter between you and He Yuchen. You should understand that a lose-lose situation is not the best outcome. Mr. Zhang, I think you found the wrong person. I believe that with Mr. Jiang's ability, he knows more about the truth than netizens. With your intelligence, you can definitely guess what caused this incident. Ren Ran continued, the person you should persuade should not be me. I came to the capital to study, not to make enemies, but there are people who like to stir up trouble behind my back. I can't just stand there and take the knife and do nothing, right? I will dissuade her, and I hope this matter ends here. Jiang Xingzhou looked at the girl in front of him and saw some of his own shadow in her. If it continues, the family will definitely not sit idly by, and she will be the only one who gets hurt. Coming to persuade this time is his greatest sincerity. Ren Ran shook his head, if you could really persuade her, this time wouldn't have happened, right? Last time something like that happened, if Zhang Ziyu had been taught a lesson and restrained, this time wouldn't have happened, and she wouldn't have been so unscrupulous. Therefore, what he said now had no credibility in her eyes. Or rather, Zhang Ziyu was not credible. Even if she agreed, she would never stop. Because she wanted her own life. In this matter, it was either her death or her death. Only one of them could survive. In the face of life, any promise was weak and could not stand the test. To make Zhang Ziyu stop hurting, the Zhang family had to completely give up Zhang Ziyu, unless she died. This was our negligence. It won't happen next time. At this moment, Zhang Xingzhu's phone rang. He picked up the phone. Ren Ran poured himself a cup of tea calmly and drank it slowly. After the person on the other side said a few words, Zhang Xingzhu's cold eyes suddenly looked at her, with a dark light flashing in his eyes. Okay, I got it. Zhang Xingzhou hung up the phone and looked at the girl in front of him, just looking at her quietly without saying anything. Ren Ran's expression remained calm. After a while, Zhang Xingzhou finished the tea in the cup and said coldly, you are a smart person, but you made a wrong decision. A fight will often comes at a heavy price. He stood up and left directly. Ren Ran was in no hurry to leave. He picked up his phone and checked the situation on the internet. Among the top 10, 4 were about them. Hashtag He Yuchen stood up for his cousin. Hashtag cousin and cousin set up a trap. Hashtag Zhang Ziyu's scapegoat. Hashtag Zhang family banned the title and covered the sky with one hand. Hashtag. Click on any entry and you can see the shocked faces of netizens below. It's shocking, so this is the truth. This person named Zhang Ziyu is too vicious. Zhang Ziyu, isn't she the child of the Zhang family? Because of jealousy of the roommate, she repeatedly framed the other party and wanted to put the other person to death. It was too cruel. The reason why Zhang Ziyu dared to do this was because she was a member of the Zhang family. If her family had not endorsed her, would she dare to be so blatant? He Yuchen wanted to destroy a girl in order to stand up for his cousin, which shows that his character is not very good. People with such bad character should be boycotted. He Yuchen got out of the entertainment industry. Oh my! Zhang Ziyu is really good. She planned the Sea Queen and wanted to destroy the reputation of a girl. After the incident was exposed, she let the innocent roommate take the blame for herself. The Zhang family is really powerful. Can the Zhang family cover the sky with one hand and do whatever they want? After reading this incident, I only have one feeling, there is no justice. In the final analysis, it is because the Zhang family has raised a good daughter. We ordinary people should die when we face the powerful Zhang family. Why? Isn't it said that we should live in a society ruled by law? Can the Zhang family still enforce the laws of a country? I was wondering why the media accounts I followed before disappeared. It turns out that they were blocked by some forces. Wow, the Zhang family is awesome. I just took a look and it's true as the news broke. All these accounts have been blocked. If I say that it's not the Zhang family's hand, I'll eat shit upside down. Shen Jingzi looked at the public opinion on the internet and tilted his head, let this fire burn more vigorously. The assistant was surprised, but didn't say much and did what he ordered. If the Zhang family takes action to withdraw, you block it for a while. Okay. His daughter really didn't let him down. She made a big move as soon as she took action. Now the public is angry. If the Zhang family doesn't handle it well, it will be a small matter of losing its reputation. If it attracts the attention of the higher UPS, it will be really troublesome. Xiao Yi, who was locked up at home, called his third brother. Third brother, that kid Ho Iat Seng deserves a beating. Don't you have a lot of celebrities under your name? Issue a statement to attract attention and increase the exposure of those singers. You kid just want to add fuel to the fire. Brother, what you said is just adding fuel to the fire. I was just seeking revenge. That little bastard Zhang Zai really thought he was the eldest daughter of the Zhang family and dared to plot against me. My parents did the same, but they didn't stand up for me, but locked me up instead. The third brother Xiao Yi scolded with a smile, don't be poor. My parents are doing this for the Zhang family's sake. You can just teach them a lesson, but sending someone to the hospital is your fault. I think my parents did the right thing. If I don't take care of you, you will go to heaven. Xiao Yi rolled his eyes, brother, just tell me, do you want to do it or not? Okay, it's up to you. Brother, you are the best. Roll. Zhang family. Zhang Zai looked at the public opinion on the internet with a pale face. These untouchables dare to clamor for relevant departments to investigate the Zhang family. Can we withdraw? Zhang Ziao shouted at the person on the phone. Xiao, Mom has already thought of a solution. How about you find your brothers? Wang Jinghua suggested in a low voice. Trash. I rely on the Zhang family for everything. Zhang Ziao looked at one of the videos and stared at the person inside. 11 Yun, you are really looking for death. After hiding in a small place, he still dared to come out and cause trouble. You ask Zhu Ziqiang to go to Engshi, find 11 Yun, and make her change her story. No matter what method you use, you must make her change her story, got it? Zhang Zai ordered in a tone that did not allow for comment. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. What should I do if someone takes away my fate? I will just kill her. Author, Mo Yet. Chapter 303. Wang Jinghua agreed weakly. If her daughter is not good, her life will not be easy. They all rely on the Zhang family to survive. Wang Jinghua immediately found her old lover Zhu Ziqiang. Ziqiang, we must go to Engshi and find 11 Yun. We must make her change her words, otherwise Xiao will not be able to report. Zhu Ziqiang also understood the seriousness of the matter. I have already booked today's plane ticket. Then let's go. Wang Jinghua and her daughter depend on the Zhang family, and Zhu Ziqiang depends on Wang Jinghua, so he has to pay attention to this matter. Only when things are done properly can the little girl help him all the time and be his backer. Engshi. A car stopped in front of a middle-aged couple, and several burly men got out of the car. Mr. 11, MRS 11, our husband and wife want to see you. Who are you? 11 Yun's father looked at the luxury car on the street. Zhang family. The burly man said only 2 words. The faces of the 11 family couple changed slightly. Please come in. The couple got into the car with a nervous mood. The two were taken to a club. Before entering the private room, the people outside the door checked their bodies and confirmed that they did not carry any monitoring equipment. After confiscating their mobile phones, they were allowed to enter. Zhu Ziqiang and Wang Jinghua sat in the middle of the sofa, with arrogant expressions, looking at the 11 family couple in front of them with an attitude of looking at ants. A subordinate took out a mobile phone and handed it to 11's father. Call your daughter over. Father 11 took the phone, but did not call. He looked at the 2 people in charge in front of him. MRS Zhang, Mr. Zhang, what do you want to do? My husband and I have lost our jobs because of you. What else do you want us to do? Both of them are middle and senior executives in large enterprises. They have good performance and room for advancement. He should have been promoted this year, but he was suddenly fired. Not only him, but also his wife. The two still felt strange, and later learned from their daughter that it might be because of her that they were unwilling to be lackeys and unwilling to obey the orders of the big lady in the Beijing circle, giving their family a small lesson. Knowing the whole story, they did not blame their daughter. If there is no such job, just look for another one. However, all the resumes submitted by the couple fell into the sea, and later learned from their acquaintances that they were banned by the industry. Even if they wanted to change careers, other companies would not dare to take over because of the background check and the information revealed by the original company. Fortunately, they have saved some savings over the years, so they will not starve to death. They have been forced to this point. What else does the Zhang family want to do? Wang Jinghua and the others did not speak, and the lackey on the side spoke first. I asked you to beat her, so you beat her. Why are you so long-winded? Do you want us to personally invite her over? The word invite was particularly strong. Finally, Father 11 called his daughter. Half an hour later, 11 Yun was taken to the box. What are you doing? 11 Yun said angrily. Search. Don't touch me. The people in the box heard the noise, and the 11 couple became anxious. Father 11 wanted to go out, but was stopped by someone. Don't panic, it's just a normal search to avoid bringing in unnecessary things that will affect our conversation. At this time, a bodyguard at the door searched a recorder from 11 Yun's pocket. Little girl, you are so young and don't learn well. Give it back to me. 11 Yun wanted to snatch it, but failed due to the huge disparity. I will give it back to you after we leave. Let us keep it for now. The searcher searched for a while and said to the person in charge at the door, no more. The person in charge said, give me the phone. Under 11 Yun's resistance, the person in charge successfully took her phone away and kept it temporarily. While struggling to resist, a bodyguard quietly put something into 11 Yun's hand. 11 Yun was startled, and quickly reacted to hold the thing in her palm. The phone was taken away, and the group dared to let her enter the box. The door of the box opened, 11 Yun walked in with a dark face, and noticed the two people sitting in the middle at a glance. She didn't know Wang Jinghua and Zhu Ziqiang, but through Wang Jinghua's appearance, she vaguely saw the shadow of Zhang Ziyu. In an instant, she understood who these two people were. She had seen Mrs. Zhang. Then the person in front of her should be Zhang Ziyu's biological mother. Ren Ran did not lie to her. Zhang Ziyu was just the adopted daughter of the Zhang family. They had the opportunity to overthrow Zhang Ziyu and crush her to death. Otherwise, as long as she stood on the high ground, they would never have peace. The other party was just a shallow revenge, which made their family so sad. When she was in a bad mood, when she thought of her again, she was in a whim, and they might not be able to get through safely again. Zhang Ziyu's character was completely capable of doing such a thing. She didn't want to be frightened in the future, so she was willing to take a gamble and was willing to believe in Ren Ran's ability. This was a gamble. The public opinion on the internet gave her hope. 11 Yun had thought of what happened today, and so had Ren Ran. So when she faced Wang Jinghua, she was not panicked at all, but just looked at the group of people with anger. 11 Yun Wang Jinghua narrowed her eyes and looked at the girl in front of her. It was she who made her daughter bear the stigma. Wang Jinghua suppressed the urge in his heart to crush her to death. With a smile on his face, 11 June, come and sit quickly. Whatever you are doing standing up, sit down. She had a gentle attitude and a curious look, and those who didn't know it thought she was treating her. The 11 family of 3 was sitting not far away. Who are you? 11 Yun asked. Wang Jinghua said, I am Xiao's godmother. There is some misunderstanding in what you posted on the internet. I came here today specifically to apologize to you and explain the misunderstanding. Misunderstanding? Is there any misunderstanding? Misunderstanding, Your daughter regarded me as a scapegoat and asked me to take the initiative to drop out of school? Or misunderstanding that your Zhang family used their power to make my parents lose their jobs and be banned from the industry? Faced with her aggressiveness, Wang Jinghua's face gradually turned gloomy. These untouchables just like to kick their noses into their faces. Give them a good face, and they will pretend that they are the masters. Wang Jinghua has been flattered by others for so many years, and to face these people today is the biggest concession. Since they were shameless, Wang Jinghua was not going to be soft. I came here today to have a good discussion with you. It's boring if you act like this. There was no need for her to speak. Zhu Ziqiang, who was beside her, stared at them with sinister eyes and directly threatened, I lost my job, so I am so angry. If something unexpected happens one day and everyone is gone, wouldn't that be? Is the sky going to fall? What should I do if someone takes away my fate? I will just kill her. Author, Mo She Mo Yet. Chapter 304. Threat, this is a naked threat. The faces of Mr. and Mrs. 11 were ashen. This is a society governed by the rule of law. If you touch us, you won't be able to live well, 11 Yun said angrily. Zhu Ziqiang sneered, seeming to be laughing at her naivete. A society governed by law. I am the law, Zhu Ziqiang said arrogantly, tell them what happened to the people who dared to go against me last time. The man next to him immediately said, the last person who skipped the toast and drank fine wine has been dealt with by our boss. Now his legs are disabled, his wife and children are separated, and he is living in a rental house in the village in the city. Don't scare me, I don't believe it, 11 Yun sneered, if you have the ability to name him, you can tell him by name. Otherwise, your talk is just nonsense. It can be regarded as intimidation at best. But Father 11 and Mother 11 are different. They believe what the other person says is true. Her indifference and innocent look made the adults present couldn't help but laugh. They just felt that young people today have no idea of the dangers of society. There was no need for Zhu Ziqiang to speak. The younger brother immediately said, I said my name, do you believe it? There happens to be a video, let me show it to you. The man turned on his mobile phone, and soon a video was played on it. A young man in his 30s was being held down by several big men. The young man kept begging for mercy, but the people on the other side ignored him and the car ran over his legs. From the video, you can clearly hear the sound of broken bones and the shrill screams of the young man. Do you think this is the end? Far from it. The car ran over his legs repeatedly. The man in the video fainted from the pain and woke up again. The faces of Mr. and Mrs. 11 turned pale, and even 11 June, who had been mentally prepared, turned pale, with deep fear in his eyes and fear and regret in his heart. I kind of regret getting involved in this. But when he thought that he was already involved, there was no way out. If Zhang Ziyu doesn't die, they will be the ones who die. No, they will live worse than death. Wang Jinghua and Zhu Ziqiang were very satisfied to see the expressions of their family of 3. These people are just cheap. If you want to have a good chat with them, they won't want to. You have to use unusual means to have a good chat with them. Zhu Ziqiang looked at the family of 3 with contempt, can we talk now? Father 11 calmed down for a while and then said, what do you want us to do? Wang Jinghua said, it's very simple, let your daughter issue a statement. The Haihao incident that happened in the school was directed and acted by Ren Ran in order to frame Xiao. When Xiao was about to find out the truth, he caught your excuse makes you a scapegoat. This time, the other party used an excuse to let you pour dirty water on Xiao again. In short, you need to let everyone know that Xiao is innocent and a victim. Those who are truly jealous of others and use unscrupulous means are Ren Ran. 11 Jun's face turned pale, what happened to Haiho was clearly proven in front of everyone, not to mention that she had evidence in her hand. Even if I change my story, the other party will be able to refute it with evidence, and then no one will you believe what I say, let alone believe that Zhang Ziyu is innocent. Wang Jinghua said calmly, don't worry, she has no evidence. You already got it and destroyed it. 11 Yun's eyes widened in surprise. Wang Jinghua did not answer directly, you don't need to know this. You just need to do what I say. As long as it is completed, we will naturally not disturb you again. We will also withdraw the ban on your parents' industry. Real. Of course, Wang Jinghua, always tell the truth. Okay, I promise you, and please do what you say. They wanted to leave, but the bodyguard at the door stood motionless blocking the door. Record it here, publish it here. This is because they are afraid that they will pretend to agree and regret it later, so they are really cautious. I have my phone with you. The person below quickly returned her phone. 11 June looked at her mother and said, Mom, help me take the picture. Then he turned to look at Dad. 11, Dad, you help Mom. Then she looked at Wang Jinghua and the two of them, you guys stand aside. The two were a little unhappy, but they still obeyed and stood in the corner. After 11 Yun thought about the words, he started recording the video and repeated the entire speech word for word according to what they said. In her story, Zhang Ziyu was a pure, kind, and helpful girl, but Ren Ren turned into a scheming villain who was determined to exact revenge. After recording, 11 Yun looked at Wang Jinghua. Is this okay? Wang Jinghua was dissatisfied, your expression is wrong. When you talk about Ren Ren, you must have hatred in your eyes and tone, so that those untouchables will believe it. Do it again. Over and over again, until the fourth time, Wang Jinghua let her go. Wang Jinghua stared at her throughout the announcement. As soon as she posted it, the trolls they bought began to act, and this blog post also quickly became a hot search topic. Can we go? Wang Jinghua waved her hand, and the family of three was finally able to leave. As soon as they left, Wang Jinghua's face darkened and she said coldly, after this incident is over, find an opportunity to let them understand the consequences of offending Xiao. As long as you don't kill people, you can do whatever you want. Zhu Ziqiang's eyes lit up, okay, I will definitely satisfy you. After leaving the club, Father 11 said, we must leave here and go abroad for a while. Mother 11 nodded. 11 Yun shook her head, no. If we go abroad, we will be like fish on the chopping board. At least there are constraints in China. 11 Yun said his thoughts again, and said, Dad, Mom, you have to believe me. I can handle this matter. You. Father 11 hesitated and finally sighed, okay, I'll listen to you. Zhang family. Zhang Ziyu lowered his head and was being scolded by Zhang Bingrong. Is what you said on the internet true? I want to hear it from you. Zhang Bingrong frowned. It was the first time that Zhang Ziyu saw his father's terrible expression. No, it's not like that. Pa. His hand slammed heavily on the table, and Zhang Ziyu trembled slightly. You still refuse to tell the truth? Zhang Ziyu, is it because we indulge you too much that you are now lawless? At this moment, the assistant knocked on the door to remind him and handed the tablet to Zhang Bingrong. This is the latest news on the internet. It has been clarified for Miss San. Zhang Ziyu couldn't help but breathe a sigh of relief when she heard this. She was finally reliable for once. Listening to 11 Yun's voice in the video, her back straightened unconsciously and her confidence slowly recovered. However, she didn't know that despair was still behind. What should I do if someone takes away my fate? I will just kill her. Author, Mo She Mo Yet. Chapter 305. When she faced Zhang Bingrong again, she looked at him pitifully with tears of grievance in her eyes. Dad, I really don't. Zhang Bingrong looked at her, with helplessness and frustration in his sharp eyes. Young fish, you have to change your temper. She bit her lower lip tightly, crying in grievance, but did not speak. Get out, he waved his hand weakly. After a while, Ms. Zhang entered the study carrying supplements. Seeing that her husband was so tired, she stepped forward, put her hand on his forehead, and pressed it gently. For Xiao. Zhang Bingrong responded lightly. Have we indulged that girl too much these years? Zhang Bingrong asked. A faint light flashed in Ms. Jiang's eyes. She is still young. She will be fine when she is older. 19, not young anymore. Back then I was on the battlefield at her age. It's no better than before. Ms. Jiang's voice soothed softly. Zhang Bingrong said, I want to send her to study abroad. What do you think? This. Ms. Zhang hesitated. If we send her abroad and she is alone outside, will she feel that we don't want her anymore? As you know, this child has a sensitive temperament and likes to think too much. When she was a child, she was this time. You just sent her to the countryside for training, and she was so scared that you didn't want her anymore, and something almost happened. Mentioning this matter, Zhang Bingrong frowned and felt shaken. Zhang Xiao almost died that time. After that experience, Zhang Bingrong did not dare to be as strict with her as he was with his son. I'll think about it again. Yeah. Let's drink the soup first. Zhang Bingrong took a breath and said as if unintentionally, it seems that someone from your Shen family also took action in this matter. Really? I'm not sure. I'll ask later. After his wife left, Zhang Bingrong opened the address book and found Shen Jingzi's number. He wanted to click on it several times, but finally stopped. He tapped his fingers lightly on the table, looking thoughtful. Shen Jingzi knows what you want. Zhang Xiao was locked up at home and was not allowed to go out. All his cards were stopped. Such a situation was unprecedented in her memory, but she knew that her father was angry now and that after this period of time, everything would return to its original state. It's really hard to kill Ren Ran. Her eyes were full of gloom. She was rolling around on the bed, humming a little tune comfortably. The cell phone on the bedside rang, and she picked it up. Daughter, the matter has been settled, have you seen it? Well, I see, things went well this time. It was rare that she was in a good mood, and Zhang Xiao wasn't that disgusted when she called her his daughter. Wang Jinghua heard that she was in a good mood and smiled a little more on her face. What are you going to do next? How do you want to deal with that Ren Ran? Doesn't he have a younger brother? Let's start with him. Zhang Xiao already had a plan in his mind. Good. On the other side, Ren Ran and others watched 11 Yun's video on the internet. Gao Ying and others did not panic at all and allowed public opinion to ferment. Ren Ran turned his head and looked at Gao Ying. Those marketing accounts we have raised must seize the time to repost and take advantage of this wave of traffic. Don't miss it. Gao Ying said with a smile. As soon as 11 Jun's video was released, we started to repost it and bought a lot of traffic. It is indispensable for us to contribute to the hot search so quickly. Good. Little miss, when shall we take action? Don't worry, wait until 11 Yun and his family come to the imperial capital. At this time, in Engshi Airport, Wang Jinghua, Zhu Ziqiang, and others were resting in the first-class waiting room. What they didn't know was that 11 Yun's family was also packing their luggage and preparing to rush to the airport. After Wang Jinghua and others arrived in the capital, 11 Jun's family also arrived in the capital a few hours later. As soon as they got out of the airport, Ren Ran personally picked them up and took them to their place. 11 Yun handed the things to Ren Ran. Before leaving, 11 Yun held her hand tightly and said, "We must succeed." "Will do." Seeing her anxiety, Ren Ran thought about it and said, "There is something I want to tell you." "What?" "My father is from the Shen family." "You have met Mr. Shen?" 11 Yun was stunned, her pupils suddenly widened, and she looked at her in disbelief. Are you telling the truth? Is Shen Jingzi your father?" At Zhang Xiao's birthday party that day, She had seen Shen Jingzi's prestige with her own eyes. As soon as he appeared, so many important people at the scene came to greet him. It's true. I only found out recently. After the shock, there was great joy. The worry in 11 Yun's brows was swept away, and her eyes were filled with confidence. I'm so happy. Originally she could see a glimmer of hope, but now she seemed to see a bright road. You guys will stay here for a while. No problem. As long as we can kill the young fish, we can stay here for a few months. Uncle and Auntie, please explain it to me. Rest assured. 11 Yun was very curious about how Shen Jingzi became Renran's father, but now was not the time to ask, so she could only suppress her curiosity. After separating from 11 Yun, Renran returned to their base camp. Hand the stuff to Jin Wu. Xiao Yu exported all the content captured from the pinhole camera. After watching the content in the video, a group of people had shock and joy on their faces. They were shocked that this group of people had reached such an arrogant level, and they were delighted that 11 June was smart and quietly dug out so much content for them that could kill them. They can't shake the Zhang family for a while, but they can get rid of these losers first. Everything they did before was foreshadowing, guiding them to take action in every possible way. Only then did they have the opportunity to seize Wang Jinghua and Zhu Ziqiang's leverage, and then they could cut off Zhang Xiao's right and left arms. Renran stared at the person being rolled back and forth by the car in the video. Find this person. While Wang Jinghua, Zhang Xiao and others were sleeping peacefully, people here stayed up late to work, and everyone had a clear division of labor. Renran and Gao Ying discussed the follow-up matters to ensure nothing went wrong. Su Zaiyin went out to look for someone. Uncle Wang and others assisted everyone. Dawn had just broken, and everyone was exhausted, but their eyes were bright. Su Zhao's face came back with a red light, and at the same time he brought back what they wanted. Miss Ren, you will never imagine what I got. He presented the thick stack of information as if it were a treasure. What makes you so excited? Gao Ying took it and opened the document bag. After reading a few pages, her eyes widened and her breathing became rapid. Seeing her reaction, Renran aroused her curiosity. She came forward and just read a few pages. Her pupils tightened and she raised her eyes to look at Su Zaiyin. Where did you get these things? You are listening to novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. What should I do if someone takes away my fate? I will just kill her. Author, Mo She Mo Yet. Chapter 306. It's not that she thinks Su Zaiyin doesn't have the ability, but it's absolutely impossible to get such detailed criminal information about Wang Jinghua and Zhu Ziqiang in such a short time. Su Zaiyin scratched his head and smiled awkwardly. He didn't let me say it, but you are so smart, you must have guessed it. It was Mr. Shen San who helped, and even when we were looking for the person in the video, it was his people who took us there. He thought about it and couldn't help but say, in fact, you don't have to refuse his help. Who said I don't accept his help? Renran looked at him with a puzzled look. Ah, Su Zaiyin was stunned. Renran looked at the others, and seeing the expressions of the crowd, she was a little speechless. What are these people thinking? Shen Jingzi, her cheap father didn't do anything wrong, and he didn't do anything out of the ordinary to her or their family. Why should she be disgusted and refuse his help? She didn't go to him for help because everything she did was under control and she didn't need him for the time being. Why borrow someone else's hands for what she can do herself? After she came back from rebirth, she understood a truth: no matter who you rely on, it is better to rely on yourself. You can only rely on others for a while, and you must never rely on them. She also understood a truth: you can't use a butcher knife to kill a chicken. When the Zhang family takes action, it is time to need the help of the Shen family. Now it is a showdown between her and Zhang Xiao. Of course, she has deeper considerations in her mind. Human nature cannot stand the test. Asking for help on your own initiative is different from helping them on their own initiative. In 2 days, I have to find time to have a good talk with my cheap dad. Have breakfast first, and after breakfast, we can take action. Okay. At 9 o'clock, it was the rush hour, and countless office workers who were in a hurry would check the news while taking the subway or bus. If we want to say who is the most exciting in the news these 2 days, it is naturally the earthquake caused by singer Ho Iat Seng. The reversal of yesterday is still fresh in the memory of the melon-eating crowd, but there is no lack of many sensitive and delicate people who question it. These doubts have long been drowned out by a large number of water armies and various marketing accounts. Zhang Xiao's story has reversed again. Someone excitedly shared the latest news with his friends. Let me see. Oh my god. This Zhang family is so scary. This Zhang Xiao is so disgusting. As the two people talked, other people in the car, who had seen the news, took out their mobile phones curiously to check the latest news. The news was released by a self-media account, which directly exposed how Wang Jinghua, Zhu Ziqiang, and others threatened 11 Yun's family yesterday. At the same time, it also exposed the threatening video that was shown to 11 Yun's family at that time. The content of this video is cruel, bloody, and violent, which impacts the people with normal values, challenges everyone's morality, and successfully arouses everyone's anger. People from all over the world in the car began to denounce and leave condemning comments on the internet. Is this group of people a gang? Too cruel. They call us untouchables. It is obvious that in the eyes of these rich businessmen, we are not human beings. Zhang Xiao is a poisonous snake. I recognize the woman in the middle. She is the president of Yuehua Company. The skincare products of this company are very bad. Some people's faces were rotten after using them, but the other party still refused to admit it. The funny thing is that they actually put the victim in jail. I didn't understand it at that time. Now it seems that it is all because of the Zhang family. If the Zhang family does not fall, heaven will not tolerate it. The products of Yuehua Company are very bad. My friend almost got disfigured. I will tag the relevant departments to investigate this company strictly. The middle-aged man in the video is the president of a security company. He used to be a gangster and was in prison. This person has a dirty resume, so it is reasonable that he is so cruel. Wow! The former social cancer has now transformed into an entrepreneur. On the surface, he is an entrepreneur, but in fact he is still a gangster. The relevant departments should really investigate this company. The person with a disabled leg who was crushed in the video is so pitiful. Does anyone know what happened? Upstairs, please refresh the page, the media has just revealed it. Let me share some information. The man who was disabled by them was called He Liao. He made a hair growth ointment. Yuehua's boss took a fancy to his formula and wanted to take it for himself. He Liao disagreed. She teamed up with Zhu Ziqiang, who was involved in gangsters, and used violence to force him. In the end, He Liao's family was destroyed and he lost his legs and became disabled. And the formula in his hand was also taken away by Yuehua. Now Yuehua's most profitable project is this hair growth ointment. This hair growth ointment is sold for as high as 5,000 yuan per bottle. After listening to He Liao's self-narration, I really wanted to rush to kill the couple. These two people are really cruel. The public was outraged on the internet, and countless netizens joined the condemnation. More people tagged the relevant departments one by one, asking them to investigate the two people strictly. Wang Jinghua and Zhu Ziqiang were woken up by a ringing phone. They were still in a bad mood when they woke up, but after hearing about the accident, all their sleepiness disappeared. After logging into Weibo, Baidu, and other large social networking sites, they were dumbfounded. What happened? Their past was exposed. Wang Jinghua looked at the video footage in the box and was so angry that she almost fainted. Where did she get this video? Wang Jinghua asked. How did I know? Zhu Ziqiang was also panicked. I'm not asking your people to search you. This is how your people do things. Zhu Ziqiang calmed down faster than she did, and suppressed the raging woman. Calm down first. The thing we have to deal with now is no longer Xiao Yuer's, but ours. What? Haven't you seen it yet? This incident is aimed at us. The person who took action wants us dead. Zhu Ziqiang looked gloomy. How could she possibly find those things? He was mumbling to himself, as anxious as an ant on a hot pot. After calming down, Wang Jinghua gradually came back to her senses and realized something was wrong. This game didn't seem to be aimed at her daughter, but at them. Zhu Ziqiang looked at Wang Jinghua with sinister eyes. You call Xiao right now. Only she can save us now. Yes, yes, my daughter can protect us. As long as she takes action, we will be fine. Wang Jinghua found the mobile phone and immediately dialed Zhang Xiao's number. Ding dong, ding dong. The hotel doorbell rang, and Zhu Ziqiang got out of bed, put on a coat and walked out. I gonna go see. Wang Jinghua waved his hand impatiently. Zhu Ziqiang opened the door and froze when he saw the people outside. What should I do if someone takes away my fate? I will just kill her. Author, Mo She Mo Yet. Chapter 307. Several uniformed police officers stood outside the door, showing their ID cards to Zhu Ziqiang. I wish you to be strong, right? Zhu Ziqiang nodded subconsciously. Someone called the police. You are suspected of illegally occupying other people's property, illegal imprisonment, beating, and suspected gang-related activities. We have summoned you for investigation in accordance with the law. Please cooperate with our work. Wait a minute. Let me get dressed first. Ken. He tried to close the door but was stopped by the police. 4 police officers followed him inside. One of the female police officers walked towards the bedroom. When Wang Jinghua heard the noise, she subconsciously looked towards the door. After seeing the police officer, she suddenly forgot her words. Why are you calling me so early in the morning? Disturbing my dreams. Zhang Juyu's impatient voice came from the receiver. Hey, are you listening? Wang Jinghua came to her senses and had no time to say more. Watch the news. Your Uncle Zhu and I are going to the police station. Zhang Xiao woke up instantly and sat up from the bed. What happened? Hey. The call has been hung up. The female police officer said the same words to Wang Jinghua. Wang Jinghua's heart trembled and she said she needed to get dressed. After dilly-dallying for a while, the two were finally taken away under the impatient urging of the police. As soon as they left the hotel, countless reporters who had heard the news rushed up and slapped the two of them fiercely. After a long time of effort, the two were put into the police car. After arriving at the police station, he was still being photographed wildly by a group of reporters. Within 10 minutes, the news that the two men had been arrested appeared on major news websites, and countless netizens applauded. After Zhang Xiao saw the overwhelming news on the internet, his face became gloomy and scary. Before she could log out, the latest news appeared on the web page. When she clicked on it, she saw a video of her biological mother and Zhu Ziqiang being taken away by the police. In front of the camera, the two people were pushed around by reporters in an awkward manner. This incident was obviously directed at her, but the two of them went in. Zhang Xiao was very irritable and his mind was in a state of confusion. Both of them are her helpers. Once inside, no one can help her deal with many things. She had to get the two of them out no matter what. Zhang Xiao once again called Uncle Lin, who helped her last time. Uncle Lin, it's me, Xiao. It's Xiao, what's the matter? Something happened to my godmother and the others. I hope you can help. What's his name? Wang Jinghua, Zhu Ziqiang. Okay, I get it. Thank you, Uncle Lin. I'll treat you to dinner another day. You're welcome. How is your father? Well, Dad is in good health. After the two chatted for a while, they hung up the phone. Zhang Ziyu breathed a sigh of relief. As long as Uncle Lin can help, this matter will be settled. Zhang Ziyu, who calmed down, slowly came back to his senses. Humph, it turns out that was her idea. This was to cut off her right and left arms, leaving her helpless. She is really amazing. Such a big scheme was set up, first using He Yuchen to lure out the Zhang family, then to herself, and finally to burn her mother's side. What a plan! It's a pity that all calculations are in vain in the face of absolute rights. Since she wants to play, she will play with her to the end. A cruel look flashed in Zhang Ziyu's eyes. That idiot 11 Yun thinks he can't defeat her. She wants her to understand that a clown will always be a clown. Zhang Ziyu crumpled the paper in his hand and threw it into the trash can accurately. When Ren Ran was about to go out, Taoist priest Qingxian and Taoist Taixu arrived. Haven't seen you for a long time. Taoist priest, are you okay? Ren Ran stepped forward. Taoist priest Taixu stroked his beard and said, not bad, my little friend is doing well these days. Thanks to Master. Su Zaiyin and Gao Ying came forward to greet them one after another. Master, I have arranged for you to stay upstairs. After a long journey, go and rest first, Ren Ran said. Gao Ying thought of something and reminded, little miss, I'm going to see Bai Xiangxi today. Why don't you bring Master or Qingxian with you? Su Zaiyin nodded, yes, let the Taoist leader or Qingxian follow us, they will definitely be stronger than us. Ren Ran looked at the master and apprentice. Bai Xiangxi, I seem to have heard of this name. Taoist Taixu stroked his long beard. My little friend, you don't have to go to an appointment. Let's go. Taoist Master Taixu put the things down, turned around and walked out. Taoist priest Qingxian immediately followed. Originally Gao Ying would accompany her, but now they are Taixu's master and apprentice. When they arrived at the agreed place, Su Changming was already waiting here. When he saw the two masters and disciples of Taixu, his pupils shrank, as if in disbelief and confusion. Uncle Su. Ren Ran stepped forward. Su Changming moved his eyes away from Taoist Master Taixu and looked at Ren Ran. You are Xiaoran, right? You have really grown into a big girl. He glanced at the master and apprentice Yan Taixu. Who are they? Ren Ran hurriedly explained, Uncle Su, they are the Taoist priest I contacted before, Taoist Taixu. When I contacted them before, they were never able to come and did not come out. I can only find Uncle Su later to meet him. Bai Xiangxi. Didn't you know that I made an appointment with you and that Taoist Master Taixu is out of seclusion? Taixu heard that I had an appointment with Bai Xiangxi and was very interested. He wanted to come over to visit fellow Taoists. Su Changming looked embarrassed, this is against the rules. Uncle Su, Bai Xiangxi is also a Taoist, right? Of course. That's definitely no problem, Ren Ran said with a relaxed look. Taixu is the vice president of the Taoist Association. Since Bai Xiangxi is a legal Taoist disciple, he should not refuse. Uncle Su, why don't you ask Bai Xiangxi's opinion first? If the other party really doesn't want to see him, I'll talk to Taoist Taixu. Okay. I'll call and ask first. Hey, Bai Xiangxi has a lot of rules and doesn't see people easily. Understood. Su Changming walked aside to make a phone call. Qingxian stepped forward, does that Bai Xiangxi not want to see us? It's hard to say. My master is the vice president of the Taoist Association. Although he doesn't report to the association for many years, he is also one of the best figures in Taoism. There is no reason for him to reject my master. If he really rejected it, there must be something fishy, Qingxian guessed. Who knows? A few minutes later, Su Changming came back after making a phone call and said with a smile, "I contacted them. Bai Xiangxi welcomes Taoist Taixu to come." Ren Ran breathed a sigh of relief. Su Changming led the three people to Bai Xiangxi's residence. Qingxian looked at the surrounding environment, especially when he saw the Taoist boy who came out to lead them in. He couldn't help but look at the others' clothes, and then look at his own Taoist robe that was washed white. They are both Taoists, but the difference is really big. When he looked at the other party, the Taoist boy was also looking at them. He ignored Su Changming and Ren Ran and stared at Master Taixu and his apprentice. "What should I do if someone takes away my fate? I will just kill her." Author, Mo Shi Mo Yet. Chapter 308. The Taoist boy looked at it for a while, then withdrew his slightly contemptuous eyes. "A few of you, please come in." At this moment, Su Changming called. After the call, he walked to Ren Ran and said, "Of course, there is something that needs to be dealt with by Uncle, so we have to take a step forward. If you need anything later, please call me. Uncle Su, go and do your work. Thank you so much for what happened this time. You girl, why are you so polite?" Su Changming couldn't help but rub the little girl's head, and then left. "Let's go," the Taoist boy urged impatiently. Taoist Master Taixu withdrew his gaze and followed the Taoist boy. Ren Ran also quickly followed. When they arrived at the door, the Taoist boy asked them to stop again. "I waited for 20 minutes, but the Taoist boy didn't come out." Qingxian was a little speechless. "This Bai Xiangxi is really a big name, he made my master wait for so long." Ren Ran agrees. Taoist Master Taixu did not speak during the whole process, but looked at the surrounding environment. Just when the three of them thought they had to wait any longer, the Taoist priest appeared again. After seeing the three of them, he said with a puzzled look on his face, "Why are you still standing here?" "Didn't you ask us to wait here?" Qingxian said while holding back his anger. The Taoist boy slapped his forehead and said with a smile, "Oh, look at my memory. When I came out to call you, I suddenly felt a stomachache. I thought you had gone in, but I didn't know you were so stupid." These words left Qingxian and Ren Ran speechless. They only felt irritating and ridiculous. This is clearly a threat to them. Taoist Master Taixu glanced at the Taoist boy lightly, stepped forward, and when he reached the door, he turned sideways and said to the Taoist boy, "You are not going to die soon." The Taoist boy was stunned for a moment, then his face turned red and then purple again. "Nonsense," the Taoist boy was furious, "I just forgot to call you, but you started cursing me. Fortunately, you are still the vice president of the Taoist family, so you have such a small temper." Ren Ran opened his mouth to refute, but was stopped by Taoist Master Taixu. "Don't pay heed to the words of a dying man." With that said, Taoist Master Taixu pushed the door open and entered the house regardless of how the Taoist boy jumped. Qingxian snorted coldly at the Taoist boy and followed him in. Ren Ran glanced at him with pity. The three of them ignored his anger, leaving the Taoist boy jumping around outside in anger. If every plant and tree outside the house is a treasure, the things inside the house are more of an orphan. Looking at it, you can see that there is a lot of money hidden in the Taoist-style house. Everyone who comes here is not a casual person, so they can naturally see the value of the things in the house. Of course, except for priest Qingxian. He looked around, looking at everything with curiosity. On the contrary, Taoist Master Taixu looked at everything he saw in front of him as if it was nothing. Bai Xiangxi, who had been sitting cross-legged, immediately stood up after seeing Taoist Taixu and performed a Taoist ceremony with him. "Fellow Taoist Taixu can come and make my humble house shine." Taoist priest Taixu returned the gesture. "Guys, please take a seat." The three of them took their seats. Bai Xiangxi seemed to want to chat with Taoist Master Taixu, but Taoist Master Taixu interrupted him first. "Fellow Taoist, I am here with this little friend today. he is the main one today, and we are just accompanying guests. I understand, Xiangshi Bai smiled. His eyes finally fell on Ren Ran. What does this girl want to ask? Have you ever heard of Taoist master changing fate? Ren Ran went directly to the topic. Bai Xiangshi glanced at Taoist master Taixu subconsciously. Changing fate? I've never heard of it. Fellow Taoist Taixu, have you ever heard of it? Taoist master Taixu's voice was calm. My little friend, if I talk to you, I won't get involved. Bai Xiangshi smiled sarcastically. That's what fellow Taoists said. Fate has been determined by God since ancient times. How can things that are determined by God be changed easily? Therefore, I have never heard of changing one's fate, but there are many such stories in some ghost stories. It's a legend, but it's a legend after all. Don't really believe it, little girl. Really? Ren Ran looked disappointed, and immediately took out a piece of white paper from his pocket and handed it to Bai Xiangshi. Does the Taoist priest recognize this? Bai Xiangshi looked at it carefully for a while and said, if Pandeo is not mistaken, the pattern drawn in your hand is the yin and yang yin yin chi evil formation, and what you are holding is the main talisman. Since you have got this, I think the things behind the formation have been dealt with. All right. When he said that, he looked at Taoist Taixu. Yes. Bai Xiangshi asked with a smile, although I have never met fellow Taoist Taixu, I have heard of his name. His ability is even better than that of a poor Taoist. You are giving up the basics to the weak. I misunderstood. The Taoist priest was busy and didn't have time. I made an appointment with you because of my connections. Unexpectedly, the Taoist priest came. It's just a coincidence, Ren Ran explained hurriedly, fearing that he was wrong. That's it. Bai Xiangshi was not angry, but smiled and said, it seems that this is the fate of Pandeo and fellow Taoist Taixu. Little girl, do you have anything else you want to ask? Help me calculate my fortune, Ren Ran said. Birthday and horoscope. Ren Ran reported Zhang Xiao's birthday and horoscope. Bai Xiangshi started counting with his fingers. After a while, he raised his eyes to look at her and said, little girl, your birth date is not consistent with your face. Are you teasing me? Although the other party was still kind on the surface, his tone suddenly became a bit colder. At this moment, Taoist Master Taixu said, you two go and wait outside. I want to have a chat with Taoist Bai. The two got up and left. Qingxian stood outside the door obediently, but Ren Ran wandered around and walked toward the back of the courtyard. An arch appeared in front of her, half closed. Ren Ran walked forward subconsciously, and just as her hand touched the door, a faint voice suddenly came from behind her. Don't move. She was startled, and turned around to see a pale Taoist boy standing behind her, staring at her coldly. There was an indescribable weirdness in that look. This person walked without making any sound, like a ghost. Leave here. This is not a place you can come to. The Taoist boy's tone was gloomy. Ren Ran felt a chill in her heart for some reason, but she was calm and apologetic on her face. I'm sorry, I was looking for the bathroom and walked here unknowingly. Where is the bathroom? The Taoist boy pointed in a direction expressionlessly. Go through the corridor, it's there. Okay. Ren Ran walked in the direction he pointed without any hesitation. When she turned the corner, she glanced back from the corner of her eye and saw the Taoist boy, with a pale face like a dead person, standing there, just staring at her quietly. A chill suddenly rose from the soles of her feet. There is definitely something strange in that place. No, to be more precise, the whole courtyard, especially the courtyard near the back, is very strange. Ren Ran found Qingxian and whispered a few words in his ear. Qingxian's eyes widened. Are you sure? Of course. Ren Ran glanced at the main house and had a vague guess in her heart. She couldn't do it alone, so she had to let Qingxian cooperate with her. You are listening to novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. What should I do if someone takes away my fate? I will just kill her. Author, Mo Yet. Chapter 309. The two walked towards the bathroom. Taoist Qingxian walked towards the door. Just as he reached the door and his hand hadn't touched the door, the pale little Taoist boy appeared behind him. Ren Ran was hiding not far away, watching the scene quietly. The door that was half closed before was now locked. Passive. Qingxian was startled by the sudden voice and turned around to face the pale face. The face was bloodless and the pupils were gray, like a walking corpse. When the other party stares at you straight, you will feel creepy in your heart. Qingxian frowned and stared at the little Taoist boy in front of him. This Taoist boy was very wrong, as if the blood in his body had been drained, and he had no energy. Leave here, the Taoist boy ordered with a pale and cold voice. I don't mean to offend, but the cat I brought ran in. Can you help me take it out? I'll stand here and not move. Qingxian smiled harmlessly. The little Taoist boy looked at him coldly, as if he was thinking, and as if he was considering how to get rid of him. I swear by the three pure ones. Qingxian raised his hand with a sincere face. After a while, the little Taoist boy finally nodded. Okay. The little Taoist boy took out the key and unlocked the door. Before pushing the door, he said expressionlessly, stand still, don't move. Qingxian kept nodding his head to assure, I promise not to move. The little Taoist boy pushed the door open and entered. After he entered, Ren Ran immediately came out from the back. Qingxian was a little worried, there is something strange here, I will go with you. Ren Ran thought about it, okay. If they really meet someone, the two can still cooperate. Since stepping into the iron gate, Ren Ran only felt very uncomfortable all over his body, with an indescribable discomfort. Qingxian frowned, his face solemn. There are stones of various shapes standing in the courtyard, and there is a row of houses in front, antique houses. The two of them looked around and listened carefully, and walked forward cautiously. A figure appeared in front of them, and the two of them immediately hid behind the stone. A chilly voice floated into their ears. Cat, where's the cat? Xiao Yingzi, what are you looking for? A slightly rough voice sounded. A guest's cat ran in, I'm looking for it. Don't look for it, just tell the guest that there is no cat here, it ran to other places. Don't enter here, if you ruin that person's good thing, we will all be in trouble. The little Taoist turned and left. When the two left, Qingxian and Ren Ran breathed a sigh of relief. But they didn't have much time left. When the Taoist named Yingzi went out and locked the iron door, it would not be so easy for the two of them to get out. I'll go over there to check, you stay here to help me keep watch, if someone comes, you learn to meow like a cat, or a bird. Yet Qingxian nodded. Ren Ran looked around and confirmed that no one was walking towards the house. Before she entered, she vaguely heard a voice that seemed to suppress pain. The voice was intermittent and not clear. She walked forward and got close to the window. The window was closed and she couldn't see inside clearly, but the sound coming from the gap was a bit creepy. It was like the harsh sound of a cat's claws scratching the glass, accompanied by the painful groans of humans. She wanted to continue to distinguish the situation inside, and there was a bird cry behind her. She turned her head and saw Qingxian pointing in a direction with an anxious look. Ren Ran looked in the direction of his finger and saw two Taoists coming towards her. Almost subconsciously, she turned around and walked towards the stone closest to her. When they turned the corner, Ren Ran was still a few steps away from the rock. Without caring about anything else, she squatted down directly, using the cover of the flowers, and rolled to hide behind. Qingxian, who was not far away, saw this scene and was so scared that she almost had a heart attack. She was almost there, just a little bit, and she would be caught red-handed. The two Taoists knocked on the door, and there was no movement inside for a long time. After a while, the door opened, and a pair of hands stretched out from inside and took the things in the hands of the Taoists. Ren Ran stretched his neck to try to get a glimpse of the scenery inside, but it was smoky inside and couldn't see clearly, not to mention that the gap in the door was small and blocked by someone. After the two Taoists left, Ren Ran was about to return again. Qing Xian's bird call came again, and he pointed in the direction of the door and then pointed to the other side. Ren Ran understood that the Taoist boy named Yingzi came in to look for them. She immediately changed direction and walked to the other side, making a circle. Just after walking a few steps, a familiar voice came from behind. "Little Yingzi." Ren Ran stopped and looked in the direction of the voice, and saw Ruan Fengru chatting with the Taoist boy with a smile. So she is here. After confirming that Bai Xiangxi was in trouble, Ren Ran did not stop, joined Qing Xian, and left in a hurry. As they left, Xiao Yingzi asked with a gloomy face, "Why are you here?" "Of course the master asked me to come." Hearing this, Xiao Yingzi looked at her with pity in her eyes. "Then you go in." After saying that, Xiao Yingzi left without looking back. Ruan Fengru frowned and looked at the child. As soon as they left the courtyard, Ren Ran and Qing Xian returned to the outside of Bai Xiangxi's house. When Xiao Yingzi hurriedly came, she saw two people standing outside the door, stared at them with cold eyes for a long time, and turned away silently. As soon as he left, Qing Xian breathed a sigh of relief and raised his hand to touch the cold sweat from his fright. "Oh my God! I was scared to death." Qing Xian covered his chest. This kind of guilty feeling of doing something bad was the first time he experienced it. "What did you see?" Ren Ran shook his head. "This is not the place to talk." Qing Xian immediately turned his head and looked around, nodding constantly, "I'll talk later." While the two were talking, the door opened, and Bai Xiangxi smiled and sent Taoist Taixu out. Bai Xiangxi personally sent them out of the manor. "Daiyu Taixu, let's talk about Taoism next time." Taoist Taixu nodded. Uncle Wang saw them back and opened the car door. After getting in the car, Qing Xian was completely relaxed. "Ren Ran, tell me what you saw there." "I didn't see anything inside, but I heard some very strange noises. When I left, I saw an unexpected person." "Who?" "Ruan Fengru." "Why is she here?" "We met Ruan Fengru outside a shopping mall before, but she disappeared quickly. Now she appears here again. This Bai Xiangxi is most likely the one who changed his fate." Jiangjia Shopping Mall, Ruan Fengru. Bai Xiangxi's residence, Ruan Fengru. Zhangzhou is connected to the person who changed his fate. Ruan Fengru is connected to the person who changed his fate. The answer is self-evident. Ren Ran looked at Taoist Taixu. "Taoist, do you think he is? What should I do if someone takes away my fate? I will just kill her." Author, Mo Shi Mo Yet. Chapter 310. Taoist Master Taixu stroked his long beard and said in a calm voice, "This man does not look like an orthodox Taoist priest. He is very weird, and even the place where he lives is weird. It is impossible to tell whether it is him or not." Qing Xian told Ren Ran about going to the backyard. There must be some hidden secret there. In any case, Xiangxi Bai can be closely watched. Whether it was his identity and background or meeting Ruan Fengru here today, it all showed that this person was very suspicious. To investigate Bai Xiangxi, the methods and connections of Su Zaiyin, Wang Shu and others were not enough. Ren Ran took out his mobile phone, found a number he had never contacted before, and sent a text message to the other party. "I just sent it, and within a minute, I received a reply from the other party." Next day, in the private club, as soon as Ren Ran appeared, the manager immediately came forward and led her inside. "Miss Ren, the third master is already waiting for you inside." There were no guests in the entire club. Noticing Renran's gaze, the manager explained, "The place will be cleared today. Go up to the second floor and open one of the doors." Renran saw his father again. "Sit." Renran sat across from him. "How much do you know about the yin-yang liang-yang qi evil formation?" Renran asked. "I know very little. You are the one who answers the curse. You hold the main talisman and I have the secondary talisman." Renran opened his mouth several times to call daddy, but couldn't. "Actually, there is another thing in front of this qi evil formation. The person who arranged this formation exchanged my fate with a person with a very bad fate. Because I discovered it early and did not let them succeed, so I used this formation to break my family's luck, thereby affecting my luck, so that they could completely change their lives." It was the first time that Shen Jingzi heard about changing one's fate. "Is it Zhangjuyu?" Renran nodded. Shen Jing understood, and everything that happened between the two of them recently made sense. Zhang Ziyu's destiny is an evil star, which will bring bad luck to those around her. It can be said that she is riddled with bad luck. Anyone who is close to her does not have a hard destiny, or has bad luck. Everyone will be unlucky, and her destiny is to die young. Shen Jingzi understood. He wanted to use his daughter's life to extend her life, but also to take away her life of wealth. "I don't know if the Zhang family knows about this." "I will check," Shen Jingzi said simply. "In addition, yesterday I took Taoist Tegzu to see Bai Xiangxi. This Bai Xiangxi is very problematic. He is most likely the person who planned the fate change. Even if it is not him, he is definitely not able to escape from it." She continued, "I don't have many connections here. It's difficult to investigate Mr. Bai, so." Before she could finish her words, Shen Jingzi said directly, "I will check." Renran breathed a sigh of relief. It seems that he is quite capable as a father. "Thanks." Shen Jingzi looked at this overly precocious daughter helplessly. Knock knock knock. There was a knock on the door. "Come in." A young man in a neat suit, about 30 years old, walked into the box and shouted respectfully, "Mr. Shen." He immediately turned to look at Renran. "Miss." Renran raised his eyebrows. Shen Jingzi said, "Dad will not be involved in the matter between you and Zhang Ziyu. You can do it by yourself. If you have anything to do in the future, just ask Xiao Song. He will help you solve the problems that you can't solve." "Hello, miss, my name is Song Lian. Please give me your advice in the future." "Hello." Renran extended his hand. The two shook hands politely and reached a relationship, adding each other as friends. Knowing that the father and daughter still had something to discuss, Song Lian walked out of the box. "Grandpa wants to see you," as if he was afraid that they would be disgusted, Shen Jingzi added, "Don't feel burdened whether you go or not. Dad will be happy if you go. Dad won't blame you if you don't. I will help you with Grandpa. Solve. I need to discuss this matter with my brother." Renran thought for a while. "My brother needs more care from you. He is now in the entertainment industry, which is a Vanity Fair. He is relatively simple and kind-hearted. It's easy to suffer a loss. This is completely inherited from my mother. Good. That son needs some experience." Shen Jing made a conscious decision. Shen Jingzi wanted to send her back, but Renran refused. Having Song Lian here meant that she had connections in the capital. On the way back, Renran sent Song Lian a text message. "Renran, don't let Wang Jinghua and Zhu Ziqiang escape the sanctions of the law." Song Lian, who had just returned to the car, couldn't help but look at the big boss after seeing the message. "Mr. Shen, the eldest lady just gave an order." He handed over the phone. Shen Jingzi didn't look at it. "You will do things with her from now on. You don't need to tell me what she did. If you encounter trouble that can't be solved, just tell me." Song Lian was very surprised, and in her heart she had a new understanding of the status of this newly minted lady in the Big Boss. Yes. Zhang Ziyu has been having a hard time these days. He can't step out of the house, but he can't let go of his daily studies. Even if friends came to visit, they were all turned away. Now everyone knows that Zhang Ziyu is banned from home. Although her life is not free, in order to appease her parents, she can only be a good girl. Just as the tutor left and Zhang Ziyu had a chance to take a breath, her cell phone rang. Uncle Lin. Xiao, I have something to tell you. I'm afraid I can't intervene in your godmother and the others. Uncle Lin, can't you do this little thing? This matter is too big, the higher UPS are watching closely, it's not easy to handle. Uncle Lin, this is in your jurisdiction, please help me think of a solution. Xiao, it's not that uncle won't help you, it's really impossible. Otherwise, you can find Mr. Zhang, he will definitely have a solution. How could she find her father? Dad would never agree. Okay, thank you. After ending the call with Uncle Lin, Zhang Ziyu lost all her good mood, and then contacted several powerful uncles and uncles. But after hearing about this matter, everyone's reaction was to refuse. Zhang Ziyu was going crazy. Those things have been exposed before, why can't they work this time? At the same time, Wang Jinghua and Zhu Ziqiang, who were staying at the police station, kept biting their tongues at first, but as the police produced evidence piece by piece, the two of them became a little panicked, but there was someone behind them. Even if the police produced evidence, they were still fearless. When a police officer distributed food to them, Wang Jinghua couldn't help asking, "When can we go out?" The police officer looked around and made sure that no one was paying attention. He lowered his voice and said, "The higher UPS said that we will let you out after the outside storm is less intense. You stay here for now." Wang Jinghua was a little dissatisfied, but it was hard to say anything. Suddenly, the people in the next room sneered, as if they were laughing at their naivete. "Hey, what are you laughing at?" Zhu Ziqiang frowned, looking unfriendly. The man held a cigarette in his mouth and looked at the two of them with a half smile in his eyes. "I'm laughing at your naivete." "What do you mean?" Wang Jinghua looked angry.